Hi, my name's Mark Best. We've recently completed a self-build and we chose to use Graham and Arc assets to install our solar project. The communication with Graham and his team was very good, very quick. We had a quick turnaround. Graham came out and done a site visit, sent me some information and options and various packages. We wanted to go with the larger package of the two so that we were self-sufficient. That did mean that there was quite a bit more work for Graham as far as paperwork, because you've got to apply to the DNO for permission to feed into the grid and for the size of the system. But we wanted to be self-sufficient, so as much as it took a little bit longer to process, it was well worth the time. The installation itself took about a week. That was all of the panels on the roof, so 32 panels and all of the framework, the cabling, and then working in the plant room, installation of 4 batteries and all of his other equipment. Because we had a split phase power supply coming into the building, we had to go with 2 inverters and 2 lots of batteries and 2 consumer panels to run the house. So Graham had to work out loadings and how the system was going to operate and equally load each half to run efficiently. So we've only got one source of fuel, which is electric. Because it's a new build, we had to go down the air source heat pump route for heating. So we've got no gas, no oil, everything is electric, underfloor heating, downstairs and upstairs. The solar, again, that's why we went for the larger system. We knew that it was going to be our only fuel, so we wanted to be self-sufficient and for everything to run pretty much on the solar. We've been living here for about 6 months now, so we've had quite a lot of the summer going into the winter. Through the summer, the system has pretty much kept up daily with our energy consumption and has put extra back into the grid as well, which has meant obviously we're getting paid for everything that we put back into the grid and not costing us anything to run the house daily. Even with the air conditioning on, etc., etc., the house has been at zero really for bills. Going into the winter, it's worked really well with the programming on the system. So we've set the battery programming up to charge on the economy 7 side of the grid. So from 1 in the morning to 7 in the morning, the system is charging the batteries from the grid, but it's only costing us about 8p a kilowatt. So it works out a lot cheaper. The sun then comes out around about 9 o'clock down here, tops the system up. The batteries and the sun keep us running all day. And again, we're not really drawing anything at peak from the grid. The occasional time when we've had a really dull day, but usually it's all working from the system. The app for the system is very clever. I've got it installed on my phone and on my computer. It works very well. Got to be honest, was fairly obsessed to start with, looking at what was going in, what was going out, and just checking the system was doing as we were expected. I probably glanced at it once a day just to see where we are, because it's a new build, and just to see whether I'm spending any money or making any money. Anybody that's considering installing solar, I would probably advise that you go for a bigger system than you think you need. Although the cost is going to be greater, the payback is probably going to be quicker than the smaller system, just from what you can feed into the grid and the excess that you have. Just makes sense to me, and I think our system, although it's a large system, will be about a 4-year payback. My best tips if you're looking at different solar companies is to check their credentials. Lots of people can install solar, but you need to make sure that they're MCS registered. We found out that actually if your installer isn't MCS registered, you won't get the top seg payment, which is obviously very important for the payback of your system. It also means their quality of work is of a much better standard to other installers.